Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Marie and I'm a South African living in Singapore for about a total of 6 years now. And last week I posted a video about how Singapore changed me, and I'm really surprised that not just my mother watched the video, but there's quite a few thousand views on that video already. So thank you so much. And thank you to everyone who posted a comment in the comment section requesting for a part 2. So here we go, part 2. Now, if you've watched my previous video, you will already know how I adopted Singlish and how I'm a firm believer of leaving your shoes outside, collecting plastic bags, how I gained weight. And so, yes, the list does continue. Now, on the topic of weather again, how I have changed is I actually now plan my routes to where I need to get in terms of how long I would spend outside. I'm looking for the route that has the least amount of time that I have to make transfers or walk from point A to point B. Many times actually I have opted to take a taxi just straight to a place. It's not economically the best price-wise, but when you sweat, and that's when the taxi uncles, they make their money. So it's a win-win situation, I think. You know, I don't sweat, they get a customer. So yeah. Is I don't have any cash on me anymore. But in Singapore, there's like pay now, pay later, debit card, credit card, check payments, pay now, pay later, pay never, pay never. And I don't know really what's the difference between all of them. You really don't need to carry cash with you anymore. I just realized that I haven't withdrawn any cash in probably over a year. And I also think this is also due to the pandemic, where people are more focused on contactless payment. Thing that I've adopted is actually to have a chair for my bag. So when I sit at the table, when we can go out to restaurants, I would scout for a table where there's an extra chair available for me to put my bag on. I've never did this. Having a chair for your bag is something that I've learned in Singapore, and I think also in Asia in general. No one puts their bags on the floor. And of course, I think this is the same argument that you can have in terms of wearing shoes in the house, because why would you put your bag on the floor where people are walking and then you have to carry it again and hold it and touch it? That's a little bit icky. So now when I do go to South Africa and I'm like, oh, can I have an empty chair for my bag, please? People are like, what? If the restaurant is full and there's no chair available, okay, I will make a plan. But yes, it is just something that I've become so accustomed to, is to look for an empty chair to put my bag on. Another change is I have learned to love durian. I actually crave durian. Oh, this is good. Oh my goodness. A few years ago when I first tried it, it was really difficult for me to eat it, especially because of the smell. But I have become accustomed to it and now I crave for durian. Maybe I'll have some for dinner tonight. I think one of the biggest changes I've seen within myself, I think, since moving to Singapore, and I think Asia in general, is I have become a lot more reserved. Usually I'm perceived as quite a bubbly person, outspoken, extroverted, but I have gotten a lot more reserved, and it is just part of the Asian culture as well, where you don't really want to bother people. So I've become so aware of how I conduct myself. One example of where I realized it again was last week I took Zoe for a walk and we were sitting outside. Suddenly I hear this dog barking and I'm like, where is this coming from? Because I can't see a dog. I saw a car with a dog locked inside. Now that is one of my biggest things that I'm like, you do not do that. In South Africa, I would probably go and look for this woman in the shop and be like, who left their dog in their car? What I did was, in the end, I got up and I passive aggressively walked around her car, stomping my feet. I walked around twice And then I looked at the dog and I looked at the car and I sat there staring, and I was like, you know what, if I had my phone, I would take a picture and anonymously send it to Mothership. But I didn't have my phone with me. I was sitting there timing when this person was gonna come back, and so they did come back, and then I passively aggressively stared at her too. And yeah, so that's what I did, and that's what I do now. But a positive thing about realizing that I've become more introverted is I have realized that, you know what, Marie, don't be scared for the first move to come from you. And so many a times when I have then stepped out of my comfort zone, Singaporeans are so warm and welcoming. And I think this is also why I created my YouTube channel, is to connect with Singaporeans on a different level. And so if you'd like to see more videos, remember to click that bell notification so that you're notified every time I post a video. And I post a new video every Friday. Yes, Zoe. Zoe's very excited about it, so hopefully you can get excited about it too. And so remember, be good, do good, and keep on smiling. I will see you next week. Bye!